What time is it, y'all? It's time for the Ways First. I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. I'm here with my man Big Ed. And of course, I am here with Ways himself as we count down to the greatest movie of all times. We are getting there. We're getting there. This is round 8 of 8. And after this round, we will have one final blast on New Year's Eve to tell you who's the greatest movie of all time. We're going to do the Elite 8 New Year's Eve, and that will be the decision maker for the greatest movie of all times. This is the Ways First. Hey. So yes, indeed. Again, I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. In the house with me, I got Big Ed. What's up, Big Ed?
What's going on, fellas?
And needless to say, this is the Ways verse, so we also have Ways himself. What up, Joe Ways?
What is good? What is good?
It's all good in the hood, even if you live in Inglewood. So look at him. Look at him. Joe?
Yeah.
What you got for us tonight?
Man, you already know the last week's episode we had some fucking bangers. We had some really tough decisions to make.
That was the best bracket of all time right there last week. That was the best bracket ever.
Absolutely. This week we get a little more lax with it, but picking isn't going to get much easier. We got some heavy hitters, and for the younger people out there, we got some movies for y'all too.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Kiddos. Well, that's good. And I just want to say, man, earlier this week, I was flipping channels and I saw The Goonies coming on. And I said, I'm about to watch this shit to see if this really holds a candle, because I don't think it held a candlestick to the Gremlins. And I watched that movie, and I was embarrassed to say that I watched that whole fucking trash ass movie. There's no way that shit was better than Gremlins. Y'all motherfuckers need to watch Gremlins again. And Gremlins like Alien. Actually, the first one is called Gremlin, and part 2 is called Gremlins with an S. And the same with Alien. The first one is called Alien. The second one is Aliens with an S. But yeah, you need to see Gremlin. You need to watch that first Gremlin again, because y'all, I have no idea how y'all found that movie to be better than Gremlin. No. It's not even close. It's
On
not.
That note, I will say one of Ben's favorite movies to this day, he tries to watch it at least once a week, is Gremlin.
It's a fantastic freaking film, man. It's too fucking entertaining, and that's fucking never mind. I know why y'all picked. I see why it is, because Big Ed is in it. Hey, you guys.
Oh,
My favorite character from the Goonies was always a little Chinese dude.
No, it ain't, because the only one every time you picked it, you said, "Hey, you guys," every single time. So I know who your favorite character was.
That was my mom's favorite character.
And you played
little Chinese dude.
I'm just saying, the Truffle Shuffle was the shit.
Man, that movie was trash, and Gremlin is a classic, and I'm ashamed of y'all for that. I'm ashamed of y'all for that. Y'all must not watch Gremlin. I was watching that shit like, come on, man, really, really, over bright light. All right, anyway.
All right.
After 12, I'm worse than a gremlin. Feed me hip hop, and I start trembling.
Oh, wait. All right. So before we go ahead and start getting rolling on these movies for tonight, get our special.
Okay.
Let's get the ceremonies going.
Let's do that.
Go.
I'm gonna taste it with a little bit more Crown.
Ways over there chasing Crown with Crown.
Woo.
All right.
So this is the last show until New Year's Eve, folks. And we're gonna do uh the finale on New Year's Eve. So this is the last show until then. So you won't have this next week.
Mm-hmm.
Just so y'all know, man. I'm pretty excited.
Now,
Uh,
let's go ahead and recap who's in the Elite Eight so far. We have Hotel Rwanda. We have the Blues Brothers. We have Boys in the Hood, Black Panther, Purple Rain, John Q, and last week's winner, Lean on Me.
That's a tough field.
It is a very tough, very dark field.
Very dark. Very dark. Very dark. And I will say, man, I'm full disclosure, guys. There was an oversight that we recognized earlier this week. So one of the movies that was in this last bracket has been replaced by an absolute epic that we were all embarrassed that we missed. So I won't even mention the movie. We'll just know that there's a movie in here. If you watched the shows where we compiled the movies, you probably noticed that we didn't say this one, but
yeah.
Oftentimes we forget what we said, so we just gonna roll with it as is, and it's just we just throwing it in there.
Right. All right. So let's get this party rolling.
Let's get this party started, baby.
All right. So let's go ahead. We're gonna start with Big Ed.
Okay.
We're gonna go counterclockwise, so it'll be Big Ed, then we'll go OG, and then me.
Okay.
All right. So starting off with Big Ed, we have Brewster's Millions up against Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, Brewster's Millions.
Yeah. That's a very good matchup, though. Kung Fu Panda, a very fun movie. Enjoyed it immensely. And y'all know I'm not a big cartoon guy, but I did watch that and I enjoyed it immensely. But no, I'm going with Richard Pryor and John Candy and Brewster's Millions.
I was gonna vote Brewster's Millions, but I think Kung Fu Panda does deserve at least one vote. Mainly due to one factor, and that's every time I'm cooking, I throw in my little special little seasoning. I'll go skabloosh and toss that bad boy in.
Yeah, man. Brewster's Millions was great for the fantasy of if you had to spend $30 million in 30 days, can you do it? And how? So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very fun movie.
Absolutely. Starting with ULG.
Okay.
Next up, we have a mind fuck versus a interesting mind fuck. We have Total Recall and 3 boobs up against Inception.
I'm going with Total Recall. I liked Total Recall far more. I thought it was far more entertaining for me.
Okay. I enjoyed Total Recall. The biggest thing I remember from it is the chick with the 3 tits. To me, to this day, I'm like, man, what I would do to be able to see that in real life. You know, Inception is a movie that it's right up there for me with movies I love. Those type of movies that really fuck with your head and then it ends.
It was,
and your head's even more fucked up than it was during the movie.
That was it.
I have to go with Inception because of that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mrs. Triple Nipple are moving on.
This is Triple Nipple. By the way, since we're on that, did you guys see the remake, the revamp of Total Recall, the new?
I have not.
They did a remake of it. It was good. It was good. It wasn't even in the same ballpark as the first one, of course. The original is far better, but it was pretty good though. I enjoyed it. It was still a bit of a mind fuck. It was still a bit of a mind fuck. Pretty good movie.
Besides the triple tit, one of the other scenes it just pops in my head is Arnold Schwarzenegger and his eyes bulging and everything coming out.
That was my favorite fucking scene in the movie.
Man.
Yeah.
So
Wasn't there a scene also where it's like his face like opened up mechanically?
I don't know. I can't remember that scene.
That sounds like Terminator.
No, it wasn't in Terminator.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know which one that would be. I don't recall that in Total Recall.
Oh, okay.
Wow, I actually said that. So moving on to this next matchup, starting with me. I really don't think this is much of a contest. We have Back to School versus another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Jingle All the Way. For me, Back to School is a clear winner.
Big Ed.
Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield and Back to School wins over Jingle All the Way.
A triple landing, baby, has got a triple landing up in here. So, yeah, that's a clean sweep, easy landslide.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
say this about Jingle All the Way. It was shot here in Minnesota, downtown Minneapolis. And to be honest, it is one of my favorite Christmas movies. But up against Back to School, ain't no way in hell it's moving on.
Got you. I agree.
All right. Big Ed.
What's up?
Uptown Saturday Night up against Gladiator.
I'm going with Uptown Saturday Night. I'm sorry. Sorry, Russell Crowe. Damn good movie. One of my favorites. But up against Uptown Saturday Night, I'm going Uptown Saturday Night. OG?
This is a really tough one for me, man, because as an OG, Uptown Saturday Night is right in my wheelhouse. Loved it. I could watch it right now and enjoy the fuck out of it. Gladiator, one of my favorite films. I'm gonna go Gladiator. Maximus.
Right. I enjoyed both of these films. But the one I've watched numerous times, all the way from beginning to end, has always been Gladiator. And that's the reason why it gets my vote. So Gladiator moves on. All right, OG. We have another Arnold Schwarzenegger film in Kindergarten Cop up against Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars.
Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, and it ain't even close.
I will agree. I have to agree. As much as I enjoyed Kindergarten Cop, Bingo Long has to go on for me.
This is what, 2 or 3 landslides now.
All right.
This is almost the easiest bracket so far.
Almost.
So far.
Next up, starting with me, we have Beverly Hills Ninja up against Jungle Book. And that's the Disney animated Jungle Book. For me, ain't no way in hell, twice, 3 times actually, in this tournament, Chris Farley doesn't make it out of the first round. I'm going Beverly Hills Ninja.
I love Beverly Hills Ninja. I love Chris Farley. But it's just the bare necessities. I'm going with the Jungle Book.
And I hate to do it to you, Joe, but I'm going Jungle Book as well.
Damn, Farley, no. All right, Big Ed, we're gonna start this one with you. We got a good kids yet hero movie, and then we got something really serious and deep. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles going up against Blood Diamond.
Oh, Blood Diamond. Even though I got the turtles tatted on my arm, I love the Ninja Turtles. But that motherfucking Blood Diamond was raw as fuck. And it was real.
Mm-hmm.
This is tough, man, because I love the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And my favorite character, of course, is Splinter. Goes without saying. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, this is tough. You are right, though, Big Ed. Blood Diamond is just too good of a film. If there's a lot of movies that would have lost to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but Blood Diamond is just not one of them. I'm going with Blood Diamond.
All right. I'm going to go Blood Diamond as well, but I will say this about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Them dancing with Vanilla Ice was one of the coldest shits in all of fucking hero movies I had seen to this day.
I'm not big on those kind of films, but I don't even know why. Sometimes some things just escape me reason wise. There's no rhyme or reason why, but I fucking watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a bunch. I just love that fucking movie, man. That was it was just a lot. It was a very, very, very fun movie to watch.
Yes.
And but Blood Diamond was just so freaking important.
Yes. I've always equated Blood Diamond to be up there with the likes of Hotel Rwanda as far as the serious tone and aspect of the film.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
So, in full disclosure, like I said, I got the Ninja Turtles on my arm, so that just shows my love for the turtles.
Right. And I ain't mad at you. I'm a big fan, but yeah, the Blood Diamond is excellent story, man. All right, Joe.
All right. And it looks like we are starting.
Let me just say, I'm enjoying the pace of this one. This bracket is moving. This bracket is moving at a very good pace right now.
Yes. So next up, starting with OG, we have 2 Disney movies going head to head. We have The Princess and the Frog up against Dumbo.
Nigga, Dumbo. Is that even a question for me?
Well, for me it is, because The Princess and the Frog was the first time Disney had it's the first time Disney had a black princess character, a black lead. And not only did it have a black lead, it brought us down to the Cajun. It brought us to Creole country. It showed and introduced the world to New Orleans and some of the brighter, more fun spots or areas in the U.S. as an African American in our culture. So I will go Princess and the Frog due to its representation to the culture for children. It's the first time little black girls had a princess they can look up to.
I can agree with you on a couple points about that, Ways. But a classic is a classic for a reason. And something about the elephant finding himself kind of resonated a lot when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. As I know it does with a lot of other people. So I'm going to have to go with Dumbo.
Can't blame you.
Dumbo moves on.
We're up to round 2 of this side of the bracket.
Damn, this motherfucker's moving. I'm enjoying his pace. It's moving.
Next up, starting with me, we have Brewster's Millions up against Total Recall.
It's getting tougher now.
Oh, it's getting tougher now, yeah. For me, I have to, damn it. I was going to just make my vote just so easy, then start thinking and remembering the other movie, and it became not so easy. Brewster's Millions was amazing. It was fun. But Total Recall is, yeah, it's kind of hard to vote against Three Tits. I'm gonna go with Total Recall. If I was at a strip club and a bitch came out with Three Tits, she getting all my money.
You can go with Total Recall. You know that's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to laugh a lot more than I like to be mind fucked. And Richard Pryor and Brewster's Millions was funny as hell. So I'm going with Brewster's Millions.
I vote none of the above.
Mm.
Brewster's Millions.
Damn. All right. Big Ed. We're going to move on to the next matchup, and you start us off. We have Back to School versus Gladiator.
Damn, I'm sorry, Rodney. I love Back to School. I watch it every time it's on. But this one, I'm going with Gladiator.
Okay. OG?
My favorite Rodney Dangerfield movie of all times, and I am rolling with it. Back to School, baby.
Mm.
Look at these. Wait till you see my Longfellow.
Oh, man. So we got Gladiator, which is... It's an epic without having a sequel. Or any other movies behind it. It's just a pure epic. And then you have Back to School with one of the most not so talked about, but absolutely deserves to be considered a first ballot Hall of Famer comedian actor, and Rodney Dangerfield. Does not get the respect he deserves. That is why today he gets that respect he deserves and moves on against Gladiator.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Because I'm going to go Back to School.
Whoa! In a lot of people's minds, I'm sure that one's going to be an upset.
That is going to be an upset. And I do not care. Send your hate mail to me. I can handle it. I'm okay with it.
I agree that's an upset, but it's an upset I can live with.
Yes.
I'm a big Gladiator. Anybody that knows me, if Dejan was here right now, he would be shocked that I went against Gladiator. He would be blown away because he knows that's my shit.
Yeah. And Gladiator is one of my favorites as well. But
Gladiator is my favorite Russell Crowe movie, and Back to School is my favorite Rodney Dangerfield movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just like Rodney Dangerfield a lot more than I like Russell Crowe.
All right. So I think these next two matchups are probably going to go by pretty quickly. We have Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars up against Jungle Book. Starting with you, OG.
Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings is the best movie that nobody talks about anymore. James Earl Jones, one of the best cast of characters you'll ever find in a film, is incredible, and there's no comparison for me. Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings by far.
And I will have to agree. I'm going to make this easy on you, bro, because as much as I love Jungle Book, Mowgli, and everybody is just Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars has to move on. It's the better movie.
So this would make it the fourth or fifth landslide.
Yes. I believe the fourth. And here comes probably the fifth. Starting with me. We have, I'm not even going to go into detail, Blood Diamond versus Dumbo. My pick is Blood Diamond.
Now, see, this one's actually a lot harder than what everybody might think. But even though Blood Diamond is a historically significant movie, a more personally significant movie would be Dumbo. So I'm going with Dumbo.
Okay. That's fair.
That did surprise me, Big Ed, that that was tough for you, but it's and not because I don't think they're both worthy. I just thought you was gonna go Blood Diamond easy, um, but it's not that easy for me either. Um,
Go ahead.
Not a cartoon guy, so the cartoons that I like a lot. Um, I'm gonna go Blood Diamond though. I'm gonna let Blood Diamond move on. I think moving forward in this competition, Blood Diamond is going to be the tougher competitor,
Yes.
and I'm gonna go Blood Diamond.
And it's not that for me it was an easier pick because it was based off of which movie have I not fallen asleep to. Dumbo I've fallen asleep to. I've never finished Dumbo. I've
I've
never watched it
I've
completely.
never fallen asleep on Dumbo. Dumbo is for me. Dumbo is like Big Ed said. It's an absolute classic. I've been watching Dumbo since. Let's see. I'm not much of a cartoon guy, but you have to understand Dumbo came out when I was a kid, so
Right.
I remember it. When I was a young kid and I was into cartoons, Dumbo was there. So yeah, no, I would never. I'm not dissing Dumbo one bit by picking Blood Diamond.
I
That's
will,
not a no.
I will say this about Dumbo: the live action remake they had up for it was, I think, better. Even though it was the same story, really the same scenes, just live action, and I liked it more than the animated. And it's probably because it felt more alive, I guess.
Well, I liked Dumbo better than the Goonies, but that's different. Okay, let's
Damn.
move
So Dumbo didn't draw the Goonies.
All right, so I guess at that point we should move on to the next matchup. Big Ed, you start us. Wait a second, I think I start us off. Yes, I start us off, and we have Brewster's.
Oh,
It's
No?
on OG.
no.
It's on you.
No. It's on you, Big Ed.
Yeah, it is on you.
Oh yeah, we reversed.
No, Joe
I
started.
thought I went first last time.
Joe
No.
just started. No.
Yeah, I started last time, so you'll start this time. This
Yeah.
matchup.
I was last. I went Blood. You went Blood Diamond. You went Dumbo, and I went Blood Diamond.
Yep, he's right. I was wrong. But we have Brewster's Millions up against Back to School.
Woo!
I'm going Brewster's Millions.
Okay.
I gotta stay true to Rich.
All right.
This is probably the hardest one I've had to do this for this particular tonight. I'll say that. Probably my toughest one tonight. Brewster's Millions versus Back to School. Two movies I highly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
They both come extremely highly recommended. I'm watching both. Let's see.
Flipping a coin.
Let's put it on ways, man. I'm going back to school.
Oh, okay. So, either way, when it comes to this decision-making process, you have two legendary comedians, and I put a capital L on legendary. You have Richard Pryor, by far the greatest African American comedian, period, up against Rodney Dangerfield, one of the most underrated and, in my opinion, disrespected comedians of all time.
It's funny you say that because that was actually his catch line, but I think in reality he wasn't that disrespected. He had a lot of love, but that was funny. That was his catch line. I get no respect. I get no respect.
Right. But see, the reason I say he disrespected is because, unlike Richard Pryor, he's not talked about to this day. You know what I mean? Richard Pryor, to this day, every comedian, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, they talk about Richard Pryor and the influence he's had into them wanting to get into comedy. But you don't get that same love for Rodney Dangerfield, who I believe deserves it. And yeah, this is going to be an upset. I'm going to go with Back to School.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know that that's an upset per se. I think both movies are very worthy. Full disclosure, right? My favorite comedian back in the day. In fact, when I started doing comedy, I hated my name because I thought Tim Wilson was too normal and too. I wanted something that wasn't so normal and easy to forget. I wanted something more memorable. I went by Squirrel, which worked, but people want a name, not an animal sometimes. So I ended up for I won't say a short stint, actually for quite a while. It was up until I ended up until I stopped doing comedy, I went by Jackie Roy as the comedian. And the reason I went by the name Jackie Roy was for two reasons. Can I get an old school moment for y'all? I know I, I know it's not old school show, but can I do an old school moment?
Hey, it's the What Up Though Show Network. You can put it in whenever you want.
You know what? Let's go ahead and do it right then. In that case, can we do it right?
Yep.
Do it right.
We do it right.
Just can't stay. I can't stay.
Can't stay. So it's been a while since we've done that. So for those that don't know, when you hear that music, that means
Old school moment of the week.
it's about to be an old school fact being dropped. So you're about to learn something about some very popular and famous comedians. When Jamie Foxx first moved to California, his name was Ernest Bishop, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest
Eric Bishop.
Eric Bishop is his real name. I know it was Eric Bishop or Ernest Bishop, something like that. Eric Bishop. So when he first got out to California, he was having a hard time getting on stage. And he said that when he got out there, he realized that there were fewer female comics. So female comics normally got bumped up the list because the list to get on stage was long for new comics coming in trying to get a break, trying to get on. And so there were fewer female comics, so they normally bumped female comics to the front of the line, right?
Right.
So he wanted a unisex name. He wanted a unisex name so that they wouldn't know if it's a guy or a girl, which is why he chose Jamie. So Jamie could be a guy or girl, but if they think it's Jamie, and then his favorite comedian was Red Fox, so he used Fox as the last name, and he used Jamie Foxx so that people would think it's a chick and get him on stage. And once he got on stage, he could make his own name for himself. Now you bring me up when you bring me up, and that's how Jamie Foxx became Jamie Foxx. Okay.
Okay.
Rodney Dangerfield's real name is Jack Roy.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
His real name is Jack Roy, but Jack Roy he wasn't marketable, so he changed the name to Rodney Dangerfield because he thought that was more marketable and it would get him more opportunities. And that's his stage. Rodney Dangerfield is actually a stage name, but his real name is Jack Roy. So for a long time, combining those two concepts, I changed my stage name to Jackie Roy.
I get it.
I changed my stage name to Jackie Roy, combining those two concepts. And for until I stopped comedy, that was my name. It was about the last 3 years of my comedy career, my stage name was Jackie Roy. And so, yes, boom, that's your old school fact of the day. And I didn't I took the music off, so I ain't gonna do it again. My bad.
All right.
That's your old school fact of the day, man. There you go. That was personal, but at the same time, educational on another level too.
All right.
That's it. Back to school moves on.
Back to school moves on. And now we have another really tough matchup, starting with UOG.
Uh-oh.
We have Big O Long Traveling All Stars
Woo!
up against Blood Diamond.
Damn. Tough call, but I'm gonna go with Bingo Long Traveling All Stars and Motor Kings.
Now, bruh, you already know I'm a shit starter. I'm gonna start some shit. I'm gonna go Blood Diamond.
And I'm just gonna call bingo.
Hey. Big O Long Traveling All Stars moves on. Looks like we get a rematch in this first finals match.
I'm surprised this movie has lasted that long. I really thought it would fall off early, man. But I loved the movie, but I thought it would fall off earlier. I didn't know y'all would be up on it, so I'm proud of y'all.
Well,
All
shit,
right.
we got old school parents, so
Right. Now we can move on to this finals matchup with a rematch. We have Back in School up against Bing O Long Traveling All Stars. Starting with me. For me, I'm gonna keep the flow going. It is a tougher decision, but I think the star of this movie deserves the credit, and I'm gonna go with Back to School.
and I'm gonna have to go with the movie that I've watched more often. And Rodney Dangerfield doing that goddamn triple Lindy was funny as fuck. So I'm gonna also have to go. What a time to be alive. Back to School.
Oh, there it is, folks. Back to School has already won before I get my vote. Rodney Dangerfield took Richard Pryor out twice.
Man,
He took out Richard Pryor, James Earl Jones, and a host of other characters. I want to give Bingo Long a lot of love right now, man. Bingo Long's Traveling All Stars and Motor Kings was a great movie at a time where there wasn't a lot of black movies like it. And for those that don't know, it's about basically they modeled it after the Harlem Globetrotters and made it like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, so to speak. And that was with the whole model of this reason this film was made. It's an epic black film that if you get an opportunity to see, please check it out. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. I think you'll be immensely entertained, and it's just Black history. I'm going to also vote for Back to School, just because. But at the same time, I don't want Bingo Long Traveling All Stars to go without the proper credit that it deserves. If I had a chance, if Big Ed would have went the other way, I probably would have said Bingo Long and let Bingo Long move on, just so that Rodney Dangerfield didn't beat Richard Pryor twice in one night. But I did just disclose to you all that my favorite comedian of all times was Rodney Dangerfield. That was my favorite guy. He was a king of the one-liners. The guy said, "Your mom is so ugly." She walked into a bank and they shut off all the cameras. Nobody. People don't realize how funny that motherfucker was. I loved Rodney Dangerfield. I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of his, still am. And so again, I did disclose that he was my favorite comic. So I am going back to school.
All right.
So back to school moves on. That was tough.
All right.
That-
Back to school moves on to the finals of this side of the bracket, or the finals of this bracket, I should say. I'll take a quick break before we move on to the next side.
Yeah, because I need another beer. Let's do that, y'all. You're listening to the Waves Verse. I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson, and that is your boy Joe Ways and Big Ed, and we'll be right back after this. Hey. This is the What Up Doe Show Radio Network, home of the What Up Doe Show, the Smoke Session 612, the Fantasy Round, the Hiccups, and the Waves Verse. We're waiting for Waves to come back. This is the Waves Verse, so it's his world, so we got to wait for him. I just wanted to go ahead and chit-chat over the music a little bit so y'all know that we still here. We ain't just leave y'all. Hopefully Kim didn't lock him up. She might have, she'd be handcuffing him to the radiator every once in a while. So I think she might have got him handcuffed. Hopefully. Oh, there he is. He's back. He's back.
Good thing to know she didn't take the bat to his kneecaps.
We thought Kim had you handcuffed to the radiator again.
No, not this time. I was able to gnaw my way out of those though.
Right. Right. So that's round one of round 8.
Yeah.
How about that? How did that sound? So we are moving on to the second 16. That first 16 moved fast, man. That pace was on point. I enjoyed that pace largely because there wasn't as many tough decisions early. But yeah, that was a good pace. That was a really good pace.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to see what this bracket holds.
Me too, man, because I know one movie that's waiting for me, and I can't wait. I can't wait to push it through. But he said he said it has a tough matchup. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So this side of the bracket, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna start off with ULG. We're gonna go clockwise. So go you, then Big Ed, and ending with me.
Boom shaka.
All right. So let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
Unless you guys don't mind taking another shot before we do.
No, let's jump into it. What you think, Big Ed? You want to do another shot? Oh, y'all some bullshit. Hold on. Y'all ain't shit for this.
Hey, it's the Waves Verse, so
Right? Cheers.
cheers.
That is amazing.
That one went down a lot smoother.
All right. So, G, you ready for this first matchup on this side?
When it goes down smooth, the beer tastes so much better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. First up, we have Vampire in Brooklyn up against Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck, man. Come on. John Candy. Uncle Buck all day.
I'm sorry, Eddie, but I didn't like Vampire in Brooklyn. So I'm also going with John Candy and Uncle Buck.
It is sadly a landslide of John Candy versus Eddie Murphy because I am also going Uncle Buck.
That one is not sad to me because that was not one of Eddie's better films, and that was one of my favorite John Candy movies. I think he's had another one that I like just as much, but Uncle Buck, man, the John Candy is a funny motherfucker. He was also in Brewster's Millions, by the way.
Yep. He was actually in a lot of Richard Pryor stuff.
Yeah,
John Candy is a very, very funny motherfucker. Very, very.
he really is. His role in Home Alone.
He's
Oh
very
my God. All right. So, Big Ed, going to you next. We have Clash of the Titans up against Braveheart.
Oh, Clash of the Titans all day.
Okay. For me, it's definitely not the same feeling. Braveheart was first time I watched a movie with a bunch of men in dresses and thought, I'm kind of scared of these motherfuckers. I'm gonna go with Braveheart.
For me, it's not even close, man. I'm Braveheart all day, man. William Wallace is the baddest motherfucker I've ever seen in a movie, next to Denzel and Man on Fire, which for some reason lost to Caddyshack. But we ain't gonna go back to that. Yeah, Braveheart, William Wallace, the second baddest motherfucker I've ever seen in a movie. I'm going with Braveheart.
All right. Starting with me. Ooh, I like this matchup. We have Bambi up against Last King of Scotland.
What's wrong?
It starts with me. This is sadly kind of tough. Because, you know what? No, I'll make this easy on myself. Bambi does a lot more for me than just a cartoon. Bambi is what fills my freezer once every year and lasts for almost a full year. I'm going to go with Bambi because it is more filling to my life physically and emotionally.
This one is not even close to me. This is it was one of those films, and there's been more than one. But this was one of those films that I didn't get what I expected to get, and it was so much better than I expected. My favorite Forrest Whitaker film of all times, and that's saying a lot because I love Forrest Whitaker. Last King of Scotland is a fucking badass movie, and him as Idi Amin Dada is fucking amazing. I'm sorry, that was Last King of Scotland is all day for me.
Okay.
All great movie, man.
Big Ed.
I actually thought this one was actually going to be hard, but I'm going to have to agree with OG and go with The Last King of Scotland.
All right, Last King of Scotland wins. Moves on.
Taking nothing away from Bambi.
No.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Big Ed. I mean, even Prince had a song called Bambi, can't you understand? Prince had a song called Bambi, for those that don't know. Bambi is better with a man. It was about a lesbian. Anyway.
All right.
It's old school. Just another old school moment, real quick.
All right, so moving on to the next round. is the one we have all been waiting for. And it starts with OG. And that is E.T. up against Pinocchio.
That is an extremely interesting matchup. For those that don't know, full disclosure, E.T. is the movie we referred to at the top of the show that we had somehow embarrassingly neglected to put into the tournament. Pinocchio is a fucking classic. Everybody knows. You tell a lie, your nose will grow. But E.T. the extraterrestrial is, along with Star Wars, one of the most iconic films of all times. I cannot tell a lie. I've never admitted this. The first time I watched E.T., I did cry for that ugly motherfucker. I was fighting it. I was fighting it because by the time I saw it, I knew that everybody said they cried on E.T. Everybody, and I'm crying for this little motherfucker, and I did. And ouch! I gotta go with E.T. Man. E.T. is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
E.T. move. E.T.
It's on me.
It is.
To this day, the reason why I eat Reese's Pieces is because of E.T. But the reason why you couldn't tell a lie, and I can't tell a lie either, is because our nose will grow. So I'm gonna have to go with Pinocchio.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna make this as easy as possible on myself. If I were to put these two movies on, which one would my kids sit down, be quiet, and watch the entire way through? E.T. is a good movie. Realistically, these are both highly recommended classics. If you've never seen these movies, you might want to dig yourself from under that rock.
Yeah, I don't know where you've been living if you ain't seen neither one of these.
Right. Now, there's one movie that, in particular, both Ben, Sophia, Ronald, Riley, all four of my kids, they have all sat through and watched both of these movies, beginning to end. The only one that has been watched numerous times, beginning to end, and has been watched that way every single time, has been E.T. E.T. will be moving on for that fact.
I didn't see that coming. I thought he was about to say Pinocchio all day. I sure did.
No,
Wow.
Ben is the one who surprised me the most with that. I put
That's-
it on for him, and it quickly, just like Gremlin, it quickly became one of his favorite movies.
Wow.
I
Wow.
still got Jiminy Cricket with me. So, you know what I'm saying? Jiminy
feel you.
Cricket's always sitting on my shoulder.
So yeah, E.T. moves on.
All right. All right. E.T. moves on, man. E.T. is going to be a tough out, though. I'm telling you, moving forward, E.T. is going to be a tough out. But that was an extremely tough matchup.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was.
And like I said, that's
was
two.
ridiculously tough.
Yes, those are two absolute classics.
I remember when we first made the replacement, you said to me, this was off air. I'm full disclosure here. You said it off air. You said, "Oh, this is an interesting matchup that ET has," and I had no idea what it was, but geez, that was because you know what? If we would have kept the other movie in there, Pinocchio would be moving on. I'll by a
Hands
lance.
down.
Landslide.
And I will put it out there. I ain't got no problem letting people know what E.T. replaced. Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo would have been gone right now. Pinocchio would be gone by a landslide over Finding Nemo.
Absolutely. Now the next matchup, starting with you, Big Ed. We it's the opposite from one of the movies we had over on the other side of the bracket in the first round that got eliminated. We have the Frog Prince up against Seven.
Wait, how does the Frog Prince come back up in this one?
Princess and the Frog is a Disney movie. The
Oh,
Frog Prince is a different.
I got you. Up against Seven.
Yes.
Nick Nolte's in the Frog Prince. It was one of his first movies in Hollywood. And that's what made me watch another movie that was in another bracket, Beverly Hills Cop, or not Beverly Hills Cop, 48 Hours. Barbara Streisand, also in the Frog Prince. I'm going to go with the Frog Prince on this one.
Okay. Now, anyone who knows me can tell you, I'm a very dark, I have such a harsh, dark personality. It's kind of sad. This movie is one of my favorite movies, and I agree, it's not a movie that deserves an Academy Award. It's not the greatest piece of acting work ever, but it's definitely one of my favorite movies thematically. Not to mention, it has one of my favorite actors of all time, in Morgan Freeman. My pick is Seven, Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman.
I first want to say I am disappointed to hear Big Ed say the reason he watched 48 Hours was because of Nick Nolte when it was Eddie Murphy's first movie. I just not understanding that concept. Okay. Most people watched it for Eddie because but he watched it for Nick Nolte. Okay. Anyway, that said, it's not that tough for me. I like both. I'm not a big cartoon guy. This wasn't one of the cartoons that really took me over. Even if it had, I don't want to discount the Frog Prince because you're right. Barbara Streisand and Nick Nolte, that was strong. I mean, it was very well done. However, Seven is deep. That's one of the deepest movies. Wasn't Kevin Spacey in that too?
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey. I mean, this was Seven was deep as hell, and the cast was incredible. And that was seven by a long shot for me. Seven is a good fucking movie. I'm going with Seven. It was about the seven deadly sins. For those that don't know, that never saw it, the seven stands for the seven deadly sins, and there was a serial killer that were killing people because they violated one of the seven deadly sins.
Man. And to this day,
and they were killing, and he was killing them by way of that particular sin, by having them overdo that particular sin. Seven by far.
And if you've never seen Seven Deadly Sins, to see the depth of how grotesque it could get, if you have darker image, you enjoy darker movies, just go ahead and YouTube Seven, and then go ahead and look up gluttony scene, and I guarantee you will want to watch this movie after seeing that scene.
Yep. And then become Wrath. Man, come on now. Seven is a cold ass flick, man. Seven is a cold motherfucker. I'm going with Seven. That's a cold ass movie.
Man. All right. Moving on. We have starting with me. We have Forgiven up against Cool Runnings. I have to make sure I'm correct in my thinking. Cool Runnings is the Jamaican bobsled team, correct?
Yes.
With John Candy?
Yep. Yes, it is. Who is on?
It's starting with me. Oh, shit, but Forgiven. Hold on. I was about to make that an easy pick for me. Then I remember what Forgiven was. Hold up. Damn. All right, so my initial pick was gonna be, oh, I can't remember dude's name, Malik. Uh,
We don't want to know your initial pick. We want to know your pick.
my pick, I'm gonna go with Forgiven. Initially, I wanted Cool Runnings. Man, that cast was dope. That movie, dope. The Jamaican bobsled team, fucking sick. But Forgiven, I have to go with Forgiven.
I'm going with and you know what's funny, as funny and as entertaining as Cool Runnings is, it's actually a true story.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't make shit up. I mean, they trained in dirt. They're going down dirt.
Sled on snow. On ice.
Yes. Cool Runnings was an enjoyable film. It was enjoyable. It was fun. It was funny. It was educational. And it was exhilarating, and there was triumph, man. There was triumph. There was turmoil. There was everything. Cool Runnings was a very underrated movie. I'm going Cool Runnings by far. It was a very underrated movie, man. I loved Cool Runnings.
Mm-hmm.
For the second time, a John Candy movie is moving on. Cause man, Cool Runnings was funny as hell.
Man,
It was funny as fuck. And it also brought us to wasn't it one of the 5 heartbeats?
yeah.
Yeah, Leon was in it.
Exactly. So I'm gonna have to go with Cool Runnings.
Oh, dude, that was in that show with I think it was John Leguizamo as cops. I can't remember what the show's name is, but Malik or whatever his name is, he's in there as well.
Oh,
He was up in 21 Jump Street. Malik Yoba.
Malik Yoba.
Yeah,
Malik Yoba. Yeah, he was in there too. Good movie, man. That's an absolutely fun movie, man. Cool Runnings is great. But thanks, Big Ed, for reminding me that 5 Heartbeats went out in that first bracket.
man, yeah. That first bracket was a little saucy. I ain't gonna lie.
But look who
because we were throwing out all of our heavy hitters that first bracket. You know, that's when we were really throwing out all our heavy hitters back then.
We were
at first, and then it became, after some thought, we forgot this one, we forgot that one, we forgot this, you know, and then that's when, and it just took on a life of its own.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, OG, you got the lead on this next matchup.
Okay.
We have The Field of Dreams up against Fallen.
Against what?
Fallen.
Denzel. Fallen, man. Oh, you know, let me just say that it's an easy choice for me, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say why, because I don't want to just say it easy. The first time I saw Field of Dreams, I was blown the fuck away. Beautiful movie. Beautiful film. Just this past season, they did a Field of Dreams game in real life in the Major League Baseball. Huge hit. They played at the actual field that was built on the Field of Dreams, and the home runs going into the cornfield and shit. It was epic shit. It was beautiful in real life. They brought Field of Dreams to life. Beautiful film. But it didn't age well for me.
Mm-mm.
As I tried to watch it again, it moved too slow. But if Fallen came on right now, I'm glued to the screen. I'm glued right now if I watch Fallen right now. Fallen is a great one of my favorite Denzel movies, in my top 5 of Denzel movies. Fallen is my choice. That's why Fallen is my choice easily.
Okay. All right, Big Ed.
Field of Dreams is why 2 of my kids love baseball. But I don't agree with OG on I don't know. I didn't like the games at the Field of Dreams this year for the fact that they changed the Field of Dreams.
I don't know what you mean.
Now there was a wall and stands in the outfield. There was no wall, there was no stands in the original Field of Dreams outfield.
They hit it into the cornfield.
Exactly. But now there's a wall and there's stands back there.
No, but in the game that they played, they hit it into the cornfield. They played one game. They played one game in the Field of Dreams in real life in Major League Baseball.
I think they actually played 2 last year.
No, they played one game. They played one Field of Dreams games, one Field of Dreams game, and they called the game the Field of Dreams game, and it was one game, and they were hitting it into the cornfield. They didn't.
It doesn't look the same.
It was the same field. It was the same field. It was the exact same field. Whether it looked the same or not, it was the exact same field. They didn't change shit. They didn't change a thing.
But no, they changed the nostalgia of the field.
They didn't change a thing. They used the exact same field.
Mm-hmm.
They used it.
Because I've been there. I went and seen it. And when I went and seen it, I was in the middle of my playing baseball and my softball streak. So, it was emotional to me to go see it. But I was actually kind of disappointed with the games this year.
It was only one. It was only one game, and it was beautiful. And it was one on the last. It was one on a walk-off homer into the cornfield. I'm sorry, Big Ed, you wrong on this one. That fucking game was phenomenal. That fucking game was phenomenal. It was something that baseball needs a whole lot of help getting itself back on track as far as popularity, and that was in the right direction. That was the best game of this year outside of the World Series.
But the movie I'm going with over Fallen is The Field of Dreams.
I'm not knocking that. It was great movie. Both great movies. It's a tough call.
All right. So it comes down to me. Field of Dreams, like both said, absolutely amazing movie. An undeniable movie. It's one of those, whether or not you're a baseball fan. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Epiphany. I'm thinking, even if you're not a baseball fan, and all of a sudden I was like, because I was going to say, even if you're not a baseball fan, you're going to love this movie. And then instantly my brain was like, but what about Angels in the Outfield? And that's another one of those types of movies.
I take Field of Dreams over that, though. Field of Dreams was incredible.
I'm just saying, Angels in the Outfield definitely deserved a spot in our tournament. It's too late. It's all good. Might make its way into another tournament down the road. But Fallen is also one of those great movies. I think one of the more underrated Denzel movies there is. For me, I would have to go. I'd have to go Fallen. I'd watch Fallen more than I would watch Field of Dreams. All right.
At least I gave Field of Dreams his credit.
Yeah.
You know what? I appreciate that, Big Ed, because I full disclosure, I was a baseball player too. So baseball, I was a baseball player and a baseball fan. Field of Dreams was great, but like I said, it didn't age well for me as I continue to as I watch it over and over a second or third time. It didn't do for me what it did the first time. Whereas Fallen, what can I say? Time is on my side. Yes, it is.
Oh my god, that movie was incredible all around. Big Ed, next matchup, final matchup of this first round of this side of the bracket.
All right.
We have Tom Hanks up against Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. We have Polar Express up against Rush Hour.
Oh, it's no contest right there. Tom Hanks and the Hot Chocolate song are in my mind, they should move on. Yeah, I'm going with Polar Express.
Hold up. I'm willing to forfeit my position to go last because it looked like OG had something to say about that.
No, I didn't have nothing to say about that.
Okay. For me, okay. First of all, the Polar Express is absolutely one of my favorite Christmas movies. Same with my kids. It's every year, and it's not even just during Christmas time. We watch it during the summer, the spring, the fall. It doesn't matter. We're watching Polar Express anytime we get the opportunity. But Rush Hour, Gefilte fish. Where else do we need to go? Gefilte fish. All right. Oh shit, this is actually a lot tougher for me, just because both of these movies bring back memories outside of the movie for me. You know, at Polar Express, I spent so much time watching this movie with the kids. You know, my first introduction, or my Ben and Sophia's first introduction to hot chocolate, was during the Polar Express, and their excitement, the way their faces lit up when they had that hot chocolate. They're like, "We're gonna go see Santa," and I had to remind them, "No, it's July." You know, you know, that's an amazing memory to have. But then there's Rush Hour. Me, Martha, Lisa, down on fucking Golden Valley Road in Penn, eating ramen noodles, watching goddamn Rush Hour, laughing our asses off. Lisa not knowing I was actually high half the time. You know, damn, man, this is tough. My childhood versus my children's childhood. This is what it comes down to. I have to go with my children's childhood and go with Polar Express.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah.
And I'm not just giving Rush Hour a vote because it deserves a vote. I'm giving Rush Hour a vote because I vote for Rush Hour. Because they did 4 different Rush Hours and not a single one let me down.
Mm-mm.
I enjoyed every single one of them. And I enjoyed them all. I can't even tell you which one I liked the most. I would probably choose the first one just because of the element of surprise was there.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed every single one of them. So yeah, my vote is for Rush Hour, even though my vote in this case, quote unquote, doesn't count per se. It doesn't sway the final decision. But I'm voting for Rush Hour because I vote for Rush Hour.
Okay. All right, so moving on, starting with me here. Actually, yeah, it is starting with me. Sorry. We have Uncle Buck up against Braveheart. Mel Gibson up against John Candy. What do we do? Ooh wee. Man. Braveheart is the only movie I've ever enjoyed Mel Gibson in. I'll be absolutely transparent on that. I didn't like Lethal Weapon. I'm not a big Mel Gibson fan. But this movie had me as a fan. John Candy is John Candy. He's legendary. With a lowercase L. I'm not going to put him up there with Rodney Dangerfield, Richard Pryor, and them. But he's legendary. I'll put him up there with Eddie Murphy. I'm going to go with Braveheart. Mel Gibson and Braveheart.
I would like to preface this by saying I don't agree with anything Joe just said in regards to first Mel Gibson. Not only was he a killer, he was a beast in Lethal Weapon. He was also enjoyable in What Women Want. He was enjoyable in that as well. Um, I think I've liked Mel Gibson in damn near every movie I've seen him in. Even Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
John Candy as a comedic actor, I put up there with all the greats. I honestly don't. There's a blur when it comes to comedic acting. I put him up there with everybody. He can hold his own in a film with any of the big shots. Anybody you name, he can hold his own in a film with them. I'm sorry. John Candy is that good. So, in that regard, as far as his assessments, I don't agree with nothing Joe just said. I don't care if I'm in the Wade's verse. I ain't going there. That said, I do agree with his pick. I'm also going with Braveheart.
I'm sorry, John Candy, but I don't know what the hell these two is talking about. Because to me, if the two are on, I'm watching Uncle Buck.
That's because you like dumb shit. You don't like action. You take comedy over action, and that's fine.
Not all the time. Not all the time. It's just if Uncle Buck and Braveheart were on at the same time, I'm watching Uncle Buck.
That's my logic, and I would watch Braveheart. There's no doubt about it. Easily, Braveheart, no doubt about it.
Yeah, same here.
No doubt about it. And that's my logic. That Big Ed always steals my logic. Okay, that he always does my thing. If this is on, if they're on both on, which one do I choose? It's something I've been saying since round one, and now for the last two rounds, he's been.
All three of us do it.
But if they're both on, I'm watching Braveheart.
Yeah,
every day, even Sunday.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Braveheart is just Uncle Buck is fun. It's an enjoyable movie. If Uncle Buck is on and Braveheart ain't on, I probably will watch him. I would watch Uncle Buck if I'm flipping channels and I hit Uncle Buck. Boom, I'm gonna stop. But if I know that both are on, I'm gonna watch Braveheart.
Okay. So Braveheart moves on. Big Ed, you gotta, or actually, sorry, I was incorrect there. OG, you start us off this next one. We have The Last King of Scotland up against E.T.
This is fucked up for me. This is so rough because The Last King of Scotland is such a great film. Last King of Scotland is a great film, but it is not the epic or the icon that E.T. is. If you see a moon and a guy on a bicycle riding through the moon, its silhouette,
Mm-hmm.
you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't Last King of Scotland.
Mm-mm.
So I'm going with the extraterrestrial.
All right. Big
That
Ed.
makes it on me. The Boy, ET all day.
Hey, I feel you because one of my favorite things to do to Kim to this day is I go up to her and I go try to poke her in the damn head.
Ouch.
Ouch. Yeah, no, E.T. for me as well. E.T. is such an iconic movie that a film studio was willing to take the silhouette of, I can't remember the kid's name in E.T. flying across in front of the moon and make their, okay, I did have that right, Elliot, and make that as their studio's symbology or symbol, their logo. So I that by a landslide, E.T. moves on. Now we have the dark versus the light, starting with Big Ed. We have Seven up against Cool Runnings.
I'm still going with John Candy in Cool Runnings.
All right. This is a matchup I like because both of these movies I enjoy a lot. One of them I enjoy significantly more than the other. And it's mainly due to the fact that it's a movie I've always loved watching, and that is Cool Runnings and the Jamaican bobsled team.
So you pick Cool Runnings?
It is. Yes.
So Cool Runnings is one. Right?
Yeah.
I want to say this. If they're both on, it would be a tough choice, but I would probably watch Seven because I think Seven is a better film. It's more, let me rephrase that. Seven is a more interesting film to me. However, with historical significance, and being that this Jamaican bobsled story is actually true. As crazy as this fucking movie is, this is true shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's that part of it amazes me. It's a lot of fun, and it's just a joy for everybody to watch, and every family, you can watch it with the whole family. There's some ups and downs, some ins and outs. It takes you through every fucking emotion you can think of, and without without overdoing it, without forcing it on you. They take you through an emotional roller coaster ride without forcing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very fun movie with a very serious message. And so I'm going to say Cool Runnings wins by a clean sweep, but not by a landslide.
I can agree with that. I can absolutely agree with that. All right. Next matchup starts with me here. We have Fallen going up against Polar Express. Fallen is an absolute movie. Amazing movie.
Duff, who's first?
That's me. It's me.
What were the two movies?
Fallen and Polar Express. Man. Both of these movies are absolutely amazing. I'm going to go with Polar Express because it has more significance towards it for me than what Fallen does.
It's on me?
Yes.
Okay. So at the beginning, spoiler alert, at the beginning of Fallen, he says, let me tell you about how I almost died. And Denzel narrates this entire film.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, when he says, remember I said how I almost died? And you realize this whole time he was narrating as Azazel,
Mm-hmm.
not as himself. That was a very subtle and significant part of that movie that I found fascinating. I like little shit like that. So for me, time is on my side. Yes, for you.
All right. Big Ed.
I'm going with John Candy and Fallen.
John Candy. Wait, hold on. Am I the only one who caught that?
Yeah, I caught it. I caught it. But
Wasn't John Candy in it?
no.
No.
I thought he was one of the cops.
But
I thought he was Denzel's partner.
no.
Hmm.
Damn.
I think he was Denzel's partner.
This one brings up a lot of emotions. Damn. My mom. Fuck it. I'm just gonna say Polar Express.
Okay.
I can't. Yeah.
And to answer your question there, OG, it's John Goodman, not John Candy.
I knew I was close.
But yeah. I gotta say a full disclosure. My mom, one of her favorite Christmas movies was Polar Express,
Okay.
and she died 2 days before Christmas. So yeah, that's why. Yeah, sorry.
All right.
Well understood. Well understood.
All right. So next up, starting with OG. Wow. Wow. Okay. We have Braveheart up against E.T.
Ouch.
All right. So you vote E.T. Big Ed.
I'm gonna also have to go ET.
And that is by a landslide, at least 3 votes on ET. Next up, we have Cool Runnings up against Polar Express. I'm going to say, Big Ed, you're going with Polar Express?
Yep.
Yeah, I have to go with Polar Express as well.
I'll go with Cool Runnings.
Okay. I was going to say, hopefully Cool Runnings at least gets 1 vote.
I want to say I don't give out sympathy votes. If I vote for a movie, it's because I vote for that movie.
Right. All right, well,
And I wasn't looking for sympathy votes.
No. I'm
No.
not talking about. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking. You know how Joe likes to, the way he's like to do that. I just think this movie deserves to vote, so I'm gonna vote for it.
Right.
I don't do those. If I'm gonna vote for it, I'm gonna vote for it. If I don't, I don't. But I'm voting. I would vote for Cool Runnings if it wasn't if it was still up to it. I like Cool Runnings better.
okay. Next up, last match of this side of the bracket. And it starts with me. We have E.T. up against Polar Express. And, it starts with me. Damn. See, this one's tougher because both of these movies my kids love. And I mean love. Like anytime it's on, they're gonna watch and pay full attention to it from front to back. So I can't even base it off of that. So I have no choice but to base it off of which movie I like the most. And to this day, seeing E.T. go gray is the closest thing to Mufasa dying that I have ever had in a movie. I will go with E.T.
Well, Big Ed is vacated, so I'll take the spot. I think it was. Is it my turn anyway?
It's your turn.
um, I knew it. I knew this movie belonged. when I when I looked up and I realized this wasn't there, I almost I almost had a stroke. Um yeah, okay. I'm the only man that was big enough here to admit he cried on ET, but
I just said I cried.
yeah, I'm going with ET. Yeah, I'm on ET. I was the only one that I was on. He said he remembered when he turned gray, but I was the only one that said I cried. But that's all right.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Now he said now. He said now. Big Ed cried too. Big. I'm going with ET.
Yeah.
I'm going with ET, man. ET.
ET moves on, but Polar Express deserves to.
All right.
Deserves to what?
Deserves to move on.
It does not.
Yes,
It may be your vote, but it wasn't wasn't better than ET. Come on, man.
I will put it up there with ET. That's the reason it was there.
It's a great film, but it's not man.
I watch ET once in a while. I watch Polar Express every year.
I don't watch either one of them. I would watch ET if it came on right now, but I don't watch either one of them on a regular basis.
In fact,
frankly, I will watch Man on Fire before both of them.
Damn.
Christmas Eve, Polar Express is on the movie.
I will watch Man on Fire before both of them. Christmas Eve.
All right, so we're moving on to our finals. You guys want to take a quick break or want to jump right into it?
Let's jump right in.
All right. Final matchup to determine who joins the Elite Eight. And let's do a little recap here for our Elite Eight. Excuse me. We have Hotel Rwanda, Blues Brothers, Boys in the Hood, Black Panther, Purple Rain, John Q, and Lean on Me. So, no matter what, this matchup will be the first non-African American heavy movie to make it into the Elite Eight. And I want to get the final vote.
Technically, Blues Brothers isn't, but
that's true. That is
I was
very
true.
true.
Say that also.
That is extremely true. All right, so either way, I'm going to get the final vote on this. Let's see. We can start with Big Ed here for this final vote. We have Back to School up against E.T.
Oh, that's E.T.
Damn. Go ahead. Did he freeze up?
it's on me.
Yeah. I thought you froze up.
I did. I naturally froze. Oh my God! Back to School against ET.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Like I legit thought you were froze.
I naturally froze. I'm sorry, but I gotta go with the Extraterrestrial. It is the better film. It is the better film. If they were both on, I would watch Back to School. I can't lie, but I would watch it knowing that the better movie is E.T.
Yeah. And so E.T. is making the Elite Eight. Either way it goes.
Yeah. So for me, I look at every now and then I have to say, this isn't about me and what I choose. This is about which is the better film because we are trying to find the greatest film of all time, not my favorite movie of all times. Because if it was that, then Five Heartbeats would still be in it. So sometimes I have to take my personal choice out and say which one is the better movie. E.T. is the better movie.
Okay. I can't really blame you there. I agree. I'm voting E.T. as well. Back to School does deserve a vote, but not against E.T.
No.
So it's by landslide. E.T. moves on and joins everyone else here in the Elite Eight.
Amazing because this movie was not even in the field just a week ago, folks. And now it is in the final 8.
Wow.
Man. All right. So
Yeah, over there choking on Smurfs.
all right, give me a number between 1 and 10 here, guys.
6.
All right. Big Ed?
9.
So 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The bracket for the Elite Eight has been officially randomized 15 times. And we are saved.
Don't let us know what the bracket is.
Oh, I'm
I-
not going to.
I
I'm not
agree.
going to. I just wanted to get. Ooh, shit. Oh, wow. So next week's show is going to be a hell of a fucking show.
Actually, it won't be next week. This will be New Year's Eve.
Yes, New Year's Eve show, the Elite Eight. And fucking A, good God, is it the Elite Eight?
I'm going out of town next week, so there won't be a What Up Though show. There won't be any of these shows. The What Up Though Show Network will be closed for Christmas. And I hope to see you all. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. And I will see you all New Year's Eve. I wish you a Happy New Year when I see you then. But in the meantime, have a very Merry Christmas, man. We want to thank you guys for joining the Waves Verse. We enjoy doing this, and I hope you enjoy watching and listening, or however you tune in. This is the What Up Though Show Radio Network. Big Ed, you had something to say?
No, just man. I can't wait. I can't wait for this Elite Eight.
This Elite Eight is coming down. We're counting down to the greatest movie of all time. We're down to 8 movies, folks. Those 8 movies are Hotel Rwanda, The Blues Brothers, Black Panther, Purple Rain, E.T., Boys in the Hood. What am I missing?
John Q.
John Q.
John Q.
For me.
Man.
This is going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be some tough decisions that we have to make. We hope you join us for it. We want to thank you all. Again, it's the What Up To Radio Network, the home of the What Up Though Show, the home of the Smoke Session 612, the home of the Fantasy Roundup, and of course, it's the home of the Waves Verse. And on behalf of my co-host, Big Ed and Waves, I want to thank you all for joining us on the Waves Verse tonight. Peace out. Merry Christmas. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Just need to clear my mind.